This evening on News Press Now on NBC 21, with only a couple of hours until polls close, we'll tell you how many local voters so far have turned out to constitutional rights today at the ballot box. And adults aren't the only ones who cast a vote today. We'll tell you how the students at Eugene Field Elementary prepared for their mock elections.
And after a cloudy start, we saw lots of sunshine around here, some nice temperatures. Does this trend continue over the next couple of days? I'll let you know in the forecast coming up as your news starts now.
Well, happy Election Day. Good evening, and thanks for joining us here on NBC 21. I'm Bob Heater. Well, with just a couple of hours left until the voting polls close in Missouri, our morning anchor, Alex Flippen, is out in the field, and he gives us a voter perspective at one of the polls this evening. Hi, Alex. How's it going?
Hey guys, we're here at the Pony Express Museum, which is proving to be a pretty popular polling spot today. I'm with Carlene Mikowski. She's the Republican supervisory judge. Now I'll say that, but you also oversee the Pony Express Museum here as well, right?
Well, I'm the treasurer of the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so today you told me earlier that sometimes you guys take bets to see just how many people are going to come. What's the turnout been like today?
Today has been really fantastic. I think we're going to clear 1,000 anyway.
Did you anticipate that? I know Merrick Bach-Garvey said she anticipated the Buchanan County, the person who oversees the circuit clerk or the clerk, and she said that she thought 80% turnout today. Do you think that you're on track to hit that?
I think we're pretty close to that, but this is a special election, and so we've had them coming out that have never voted before, and it's been good to see the younger kids out, a lot of first-time voters, and a lot of the old-timers, too.
Well, you know, this is my polling spot. This is where I vote.
Did you vote?
Oh, of course I voted.
Okay.
Of course I voted. In fact, I got to get my sticker on to prove it. But, you know, you said on the way, or when I was in here earlier, I hear that there were people waiting on you to get here this morning. Is that right?
That's correct. We had a group of people here waiting when we got here this morning at 5:30.
And we're obviously seeing a pretty big rush right now. It's, you know, the 5 o'clock hour, and they just keep coming. I've been pulling equipment out of my car to do this live shot, and I have to keep holding the door for so many people because you guys have so many people coming in. Now, what do people need to know? The polls are closing at 6:30, is that right?
No, they close at 7.
7. See, I did not know that, so that's good. I would have had a little more time to vote, but I've already voted.
You have voted. You don't have a sticker on, though.
Well, I'm just going to have to go get a sticker. I think I left mine in my truck. But so there you go, guys. You have until 7 o'clock to come out. Pony Express Museum hopping a lot of places. Every polling place that I've come across on the way here, lots of people. If you're in line at 7, you'll still get to vote, right?
That's right. If you're there before 7 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, if you're in line, you can vote, even if it takes until how long?
All right, fantastic. Well, you guys are doing a great job. You're getting people in and out, and we'll talk to you again. But right now, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks, Alex. Well, lines at other voting locations around the area stretched out the doors this morning as the polls did open at 6, as Alex said, for the general election. The poll workers gave out 30 ballots, for instance, in the first 15 minutes at Ashland United Methodist Church. That is the voting location for one of the city's larger precincts. One voting official said by 11 a.m. they had 900 voters, and an hour and a half later, about 200 more voters had gotten in line and cast their ballots. Buchanan County Clerk Mary Bach-Garvey says at 11 a.m. there was about a 29% turnout already. By 3 this afternoon, Mary said that number had jumped to 45%, and that adds up to over 15,000 voters out of the 51,000 registered in the county. Election Day was actually a paid holiday for thousands of workers in the U.S. Across the country. Many companies gave their employees a paid day off. Wow, to go out and vote. Some of the biggest included General Motors and Ford. All Hearst Publishing employees got to cover the election today and get some time off. There is no federal law that requires workers to get time off to vote. However, state laws vary on what is required. Adults weren't the only ones voting today. Eugene Field Elementary School students held their own mock election. The Field Student Council created the mock election. Ballots were passed out to all the kids from kindergarten through 6th grade, and they voted throughout the day. Their votes were based on information they learned outside of the classroom. Now, Miss Clinton, no relation to the candidate, we understand. Her sixth grade students read an article on both candidates to help give them a point of view, and a writing assignment that asked them why it's important to vote and where they got their political information.
We really want to stress to the students that their vote matters, that they can make a difference, even though they're young and they're not at the age yet where they can be making a vote.
Obama was our first African-American president, and he was president for 8 years. And then if Hillary became president, that'd be like 4 more years with a girl president. So that's 2 times in a row that it'd be history made. And I just think that'd be really cool.
And the results were tallied in Miss Clinton's class at the end of the day. And who won? It was a close race. The candidate Clinton, 142 votes, but Donald Trump had 161 votes, making him the President of the United States, at least at Eugene Field in the mock election. A former St. Joseph school could gain historic status once its nomination clears a state panel. The old Hall Elementary School at 2509 Duncan Street has been nominated for the National Register of Historic Places. The Missouri Advisory Council on Historic Preservation made that announcement today, with the board to review the nomination at its November meeting in Jefferson City. State-approved nominations then go to the National Register. Hall School closed in 2014 after more than a century of service in the St. Joseph School District. Okay, I think that's really funny that the election was held in Miss Clinton's class.
I applaud her because I think it's very important to teach.
Oh, it is,
teach the
and
kids
how
about
much
this. Yeah.
the little girl, her last name was Sidwell. How informed was she?
Very,
Oh
I'd
my
say.
gosh.
That's a great experience. Good for Miss Clinton to teach her there. I
There
think
you
that's
go.
great
There
to
you
show
go.
children.
Well, it was a perfect day weather-wise.
The ballots
to get
are
out.
in. It was a nice day.
That
It was
was.
voted a nice day.
Weather
today.
won
Yeah,
today.
I was asked to do some corny election weather segues. We just did one.
Yeah,
Let's take a
there's
look at
one.
Storm Tracker right now. We are talking about some fantastic conditions outside. Yes, the sun is already setting outside. A few more minutes here before sunset, but we're going to see some pretty clear conditions tonight, and I think we're going to see some cold conditions here early tomorrow morning. Right now, not cold, but I think we'll be knocking on the door of freezing here by the early morning hours. 60 at Missouri Western, 61 in Trumbull's, 57 at the airport in Kansas City, 62 in Halls, 59 at Rosecrans already, and we're seeing 58 degrees in Maryville. Once the sun goes down, I'm expecting our temperatures to drop a little quick around here. We're also talking about a frost advisory you can see coming from central Kansas out into most of northern Missouri here. Starting early tomorrow morning around 3 a.m. through 9 a.m. Temperatures falling into lower to mid 30s around here. And if you have any outdoor plants that are sensitive, pull those guys in. We usually don't talk about this in November. We've already had all our freezes, but things have been so warm around here. This is just a unique situation. But I think we'll have a frosty start tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine around here for the next few days. It looks like we'll be staying cool as we head into the weekend. We'll take a look at that forecast. I'll break everything down for you coming up here in about 5 minutes, Bob.
All right, thanks, Christian. A 22-year-old Hiawatha, Kansas woman has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for her role in a case involving teen runaways. Jamie Wardrip appeared in Brown County Court and was sentenced on charges of aggravated interference with parental custody and also contributing to a child's misconduct. Those charges were in connection with an April 25th incident where Wardrip left town with 3 teenage runaways from the Hiawatha area. Additional charges of aggravated indecent liberties with a child and criminal sodomy with a child were also filed. Wardrip was sentenced September 19th to a total of 96 months in prison for indecent liberties with a child and the criminal sodomy charge. Esther George, the president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank in Kansas City, plans to talk about the U.S. economy during an address next week to the St. Joe Chamber of Commerce. George currently has voting power on the interest rate decisions for the country. Chamber members will also hear an update on economic development activities over the past year, like the start of the new Daly's Premium Meats plant on the south end of St. Joseph. Now, that summit will be held at 11:30 next Tuesday at the Radisson Hotel in downtown St. Joe. The deadline to register is Thursday. Americans are deciding who will fill the nation's top jobs today, and the Obama administration says there are millions more American jobs waiting to be filled. The Labor Department said today that America had 5.5 million job openings in September. That is close to the record high of 5.8 million set in April. There was even a small increase in federal government jobs. The huge number of openings is a recovery sign that employers want to hire. It can also sometimes signal that employers are struggling to find the workers to fill those right skills. The former YWCA Aquatic Center in downtown St. Joseph closed its doors in 2012, but after being on the market for over a year, it has been bought by a company based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Palestra Real Estate Partners bought the 9,000 square foot property October 14th. It was originally listed at $895,000. Ray Sisson from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services says the new owners are planning to turn the old pool complex into a business that is health-oriented. Now, the property also features a 40-car parking lot on the east side, and inside, the pool still sits, full of dirt, and it's ready to be transformed into something else. Representatives with Palestra were unwilling to comment exactly about the future plans for the building right now. Coming up, while the nation is waiting to see who will be the next president, the current commander-in-chief is preparing to leave his legacy. How will today's results impact that? We take a look.
And we are going to see our temperatures drop down into the 30s. The question is, how cold will it get by tomorrow morning? And what will our afternoon have in store? I'll let you know in the forecast. That's next.